Yes, we're back. Roshfooco watches and things. On another micro brand tip. This time we've got the Duzu watches Ningaloo Reef. Not sure how to pronounce it. This is a beast of a 300-meter water-resistant dive watch. It's 44 mil in diameter. It's 52 mil lug to lug, 16.5 to the top of the crystal, and that's a 24 mil lug. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 8 mil crown. It's a bad boy. So as mentioned, this is a 300-meter dive watch. It is a numbered, limited edition with a stainless steel case, ceramic bezel, sapphire glass, stainless steel bracelet, sandwich dial, Miyota 9015 inside. Comes in a nice watch roll. It's got original design. What's not to like? So this model was originally out on Kickstarter in 2018. Designed in Australia, in Western Australia, by brand owner Wayne McKay, who was actually really responsive on chat on social media, etc. So that's a nice touch. Ningaloo Reef is a World Heritage listed reef off the Western Australian coast. So let's get into this case. Well, I mean, it is immediately obvious that this is got an overwhelmingly architectural design style. It is said to resemble the structural formation of the coral that you find at the aforementioned Ningaloo Reef. Whatever this kind of exoskeletal design actually reminds me of the Fourth Bridge. Combination of vertical circular brushing with bead blasted elements. Fantastically machined bezel, making it really, really grippy. And that is also reflected in this 8 mil crown. It might be the most grippy. Oh, nice pop. And most buttery threaded crown that I've come across at this price point, which is, by the way, somewhere in the region of $375 US. I can't quite remember. I did buy it a while ago. I think at the time it was just over £300 in conversion, but you'll have to check duzuwatches.com. Lugs. Well, for a start, they've got that nice 45 mil drop down similar, I guess, to the Seiko Samurai, which is one of my favourites. They are drilled lugs, and we have a hex head screw bar fitment for the strap, which kind of ties into this really rugged, tough overall design aesthetic that they're going for. In order to use that hex head fitment, they do provide a double-ended tool which you can use to kind of get in there Panerai style, I guess. Flipping it over, you can see a etched case back. Obviously we've already mentioned the numbering, and you can see this is a screw in the case back rather than a screw down. We've got 6 machine screws, again that kind of hex head fitment, really solid case back that again runs through this really rugged industrial architectural theme that's running through this watch. One further thing to mention is you can see we've got all of these kind of industrial, harsh, angular features, but I love that really organic sweep to the bottom of the case there. That's really, really nice. And there is a little nod to more svelteness, I guess. We've got 36mm here at the beginning of the lugs, and that tapers down slightly to 33, so there's a little bit of refinement there as well. Glass is a single domed sapphire, 4mm thick, AR coated. Bezel is that loomed ceramic, matte ceramic finish, which I like as well. The shiny ceramics I'm not a huge fan of. 120 click, filled with BGW9 loom on those markers. The watch head itself comes on this solid link bracelet, branded with a double push button. Now the bracelet was a later addition. When I actually bought this, it was supplied on a leather strap with the bracelet sent out free of charge a bit later. It is 24. There's no taper in the bracelet at all, which is an interesting design choice, and it's only a pretty nasty stamped wobbly clasp. I mean, it was nice that the bracelet was added at a later date, but it does seem like a bit of an afterthought. It doesn't integrate particularly well into the case with those straight end links. It's a bit light, it's a bit, compared to the bulk and the heft and the industrial stature of the watch head, the bracelet is a bit of an afterthought, but I suppose it's better than supplying a 300-meter dive watch on a leather strap, which was the initial package. So after that rather negative look at the bracelet, let's look at a few more of the things that perhaps with a bit more time, a bit more money in production, could have been done a bit better. This bezel, it's a little wobbly. You know, there's a bit of play there. I mean, that could be done better. Let's be honest, that could be done better. It doesn't really fit into this, as the bracelet doesn't. It doesn't fit into this kind of robust overall design that Duzu were going for. The bracelet's a bit tinny, the bezel's a bit tinny, but it's not a disaster, is it? Now, the dial. Yeah, it's a sandwich dial, which allows for a nice amount of depth, and those levels on the dial from the recessed date window to the hour indexes and the top layer of the dial. I mean, that gives some visual interest, but look at all of those cutouts on the dial. I mean, immediately that says to me confusion, really. You can see we've got these single digit indexes here at 2, 4, 8 and 10, although I guess to keep this aesthetic of single digits, the 10 is just a 0, which is, you know, I mean, it's an interesting choice. But when you have a look at the double stick marker at 12, that looks like 11. And the single one here looks like a 1. So at the moment, our dial at first quick glance looks like it's got a 2, 4, 1, 8, 0, 11. Now, you tell me if that's not confusing. Also, we've got the Duzu logo cut out, and we've also got Duzu text below it. Bit much, perhaps. We've got extended stick, circle, stick indexes at 1, 5, 7, 9 and 11 that really come down into the center of the dial. We've got cursive script for Ningaloo Reef, and also 300 meters, 1,000 feet. Lots and lots going on this dial. We've got a black date window on an orange faced watch. I think this black date window is the same on the 2 other colour choices that they offer, which is a dark blue and a black, and perhaps, I mean, obviously that dark day window is going to look better when matched with those darker dial colours, but you know, at the very least stick a white date window in there. We've got really rather nice hands, really. They're pretty simple but nice, but they have again a black kind of root to the hands which sticks out unnecessarily from the dial. We've got a second hand with no loom on it. And everything just looks a little cluttered. What do you think? And that cluttered feeling on the dial is no different when the lights go out. good deal of loom, but there's a lot going on there. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist. Now it's thick, it's heavy, it's got to be 200 grams at least on the bracelet. 52 lug to lug is about as broad as I can possibly imagine to wear on my 7-inch wrist. Take that into account. But there's something about it that I do like, you know, for all of the, maybe the overthought dial, the clutter, the lack of space, the confusion, I still like it. I still like the design. It's original, it's audacious. It's quite striking, really. And I guess if you're going to be a independent micro brand, you want to have something that's your own style. You can go down the Submariner homage route, but what does that say about you? What I like about Duzu and Wayne is that he's gone out on a limb. He's designed something interesting, original, and yeah, it may have one or two things that perhaps don't fit together quite so well, or not quite so cohesive as they could be. I still wear it, I still like it, I still think it's fantastic. I'm not sure the tagline of "Made for the Urban Warrior" is particularly great either, but the DNA is here. You can definitely move on with other models and take Duzu down a path which can really carve out its place in the micro brand watch world. This is Roshfooco Watches and Things, and I'm out.